Okay, this is section 5.3, rational numbers. And I want you to notice the word ratio, okay, in the word rational. And ratio just means we are working with a fraction, right? Another word for ratio is fraction. So when you think of the word rational, just think fractional. So we're going to be working with fractional numbers. So in this section, we're going to be adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions. And yes, I mean, you do have your calculator, but it's extremely important that you actually understand what these fractions mean because, I mean, if I give you a pie chart and you figure out 23rd, 70ths, okay, that's great, but if you can't interpret that, then there's really no meaning. It's not very helpful. So you have to understand fractions, not just type, a number in the calculator or do an operation. You actually have to understand the meaning to it because you're going to need it in statistics and just in general in life. You have to understand percentages. Okay, so recall in section 5.1 and 5.2. We've talked about natural numbers, right? Remember the natural numbers, right, are just 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. The whole numbers, right, are 0, 1, 2, right? Basically 0 plus the natural numbers. And then finally the integers. And the integers, I mean, we can even draw a number line if we want here. So the integers, we have positive integers, which are 1, 2, 3, and so forth, right? Basically the natural numbers. And then we have negative numbers, -1, -2, 3, and they keep going. So all these guys, right, are the integers. And so in 5.3, right, I mean, there's obviously numbers between, 1 and 2, between -2 and 3. I mean, we work with fractions in life all the time, so we have to, again, introduce these. So just a formal definition here. So in your book, they have it in words on page 272. They have the rational numbers. And I'm reading the yellow rectangle here, so it's page again 272, and it says the set of rational numbers. Okay, the set of rational numbers. In math, we call the rational numbers, we denote it with this Q. And we say it's, well, from the words, it's the set, okay, so the collection of numbers which can be expressed in the form A over B. Okay, so we have A over B, and here A and B are integers. Okay, this is important. A and B are integers, right? And it specifically says in the definition B is not equal to 0. Okay, B cannot be 0. And of course, A is called the numerator, right? And B is called the denominator. Notice B cannot be 0, right? Because we can't divide by 0. It doesn't make sense, right? If you take a number and you divide it by 0, it doesn't, I mean, if you punch it in your calculator, it's going to say error. Actually, that's something you can think about. Why doesn't it divide by 0? So I'll let you guys think about that. And again, just the big picture here. This section, again, you're going to be adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing rational numbers, or in other words, fractional numbers, or just fractions. We're also going to discuss a little bit about mixed numbers and the relationship between that and something we call improper fractions. Again, this is going to be very helpful in chapter 6. So that's why I want to quickly do 5. A nice review, just because I always see students struggle in 6 because they don't understand what 2/7 means, or 7 over 2, and the difference between those two. So I'm just kind of looking at your book here and trying to get the big picture. So I will stop here, and then I'll do some examples, and then there's some additional examples from the author as well.